Hello guys, welcome back to another change video. Today we are at South Kenton on the Bakerloo line, West Coast Main line and Watford DC line. Here goes a 1972 stock off to Elephant and Castle from Harrow and Wealdstone. Next off that one being North Wembley. Here comes a 730. 730-229 on a London North Western Railway service to London Euston from somewhere. Here comes a Petalino. 390-148. 390-148 on an Atlantic West Coast service to Birmingham Euston, I'm going to say, from London Euston. Next off that one will be Milton Keynes. Here comes a DB66 on car freight. (66084). A bunch of Toyotas. And here comes a 730 on a service to Tree. 730-224 and 730-228 on a service from London Euston to Tring. Next off that one being Watford Junction. Here comes a 1972 stock from Elephant and Castle to Harrow and Wealdstone. And here comes a Petalino. 390-103 and 350, 375 and something else, and 710-269 on a service to London Euston from Watford Junction. Here goes 710-269 on a London Overground service from Watford Junction to London Euston. Next off this one being North Wembley. Here comes a 390. On a Atlantic West Coast service to Manchester Piccadilly from London Euston. Next off that one being Milton Keynes. Here comes a 710 on an overground service to Watford Junction from London Euston. Here comes another 730. Looks like, yeah, it's like a 730 on the West Midlands Railway one. Yeah. Here comes a 730. (730-830) on a service to London Euston, and 730-033 on the rear. And the Great British Railways plates on the side. And here goes 710-268 And we got a Bakerloo line 1972 stock coming in here as well on a service to Elephant and Castle. Here comes a 7:30 on a London North Western Railway service to Milton Keynes. 7:30 212 and 7:30 232. On a service to Milton Keynes. Next off that one being Harrow and Wolstone. Here comes a Pendolino, an Avanti West Coast service. Lovely free tone there. 390.042 on Avanti West Coast service to Manchester Piccadilly from London Euston. The last 390 was to Preston. Here comes a 807, 805, 805 006 on an Avanti West Coast service from Chester to London Euston. Next off that one being London Euston. Here goes a 710, 37. Nice way from the driver there. And we've got an Avero as well, coming through in a moment. $807 007 on a service to Liverpool. Lime Street, I should say. Here comes a Freightliner 90, double pairing of Freightliner 90s on a Freightliner service from Felixstowe to Garston. $98.46 and $98.14. Double pairing of Freightliner 90s on a Freightliner service to Garston from Felixstowe. And here comes a 1972 stock to Elephant and Castle. Here comes a 350, 350A, 350 403, and 350 121 on a service to London Euston from somewhere, I think. Here comes a 390. $390 141 on the Avanti West Coast service to London Euston. $390 157 on a Avanti West Coast service to Manchester Piccadilly. And here is a 1972 stock to Harrow and Wolstone. Here comes a 730 on a London North Western Railway service to Tring. As there goes the 1972 stock to Harrow and Wealdstone. Here comes a 390. 390 006. On a service to London Euston, and a 377 702. And a 7 service to East Croydon from Watford Junction. Next off that one being Wembley Central. Here comes two 366s. 26508 Leeds. 26508 and 518. On a service from Southampton to somewhere else. I have no clue. There'll be a Western Railway 730 passing behind it as well. $730.045 I've caught on the rear. Here comes a 807 on a service from Liverpool. 807 009. Next off that one being London Euston. And here comes a 1972 stock. Here goes a 1972 stock to Harrow and Wealdstone. Here comes a Tampa and a Victoria line or whatever over on the bridge up for the line. We've got a 710 arriving in next to us. DR 73947. And 710 337. Here comes a double 350. 350 370. And 350 112. On a service to London Euston. Here comes a 730. On a service to Milton Keynes. 730 again. And 730 030. Next off that one being Watford Junction. Here comes a 805 006. 805 006 on a Vandy West Coast service to Chester from London Euston. Next off that one will be Milton Keynes. Here goes a 1972 stock. Nice wave from the driver there, and a little whistle. 1972 stock to Elephant and Castle from Harrow and Wealdstone. Next off this one being North Wembley. Here comes a 350. 350 122 and 350 101 on a London North Western Railway service to, I don't know, Birmingham New Street, I'm going to say. Here comes a 390. 390 136 on a service to London Euston. Next off that one. Here comes a 350 on a service to I don't know. Next off that one being Watford Junction, I'm going to say. Here goes 710 268 and a 730 goes past behind it on a service to London Euston, both of them. The flat one being North Wembley, and the 7:30s will be London Euston. Here comes a 390. £390,129 on a service to somewhere from London Euston, and the freight is next. Here comes a Freightliner 66 on a service from 26522. Lovely two-tone there. So we've got a 710 arriving in on a service to Watford. $710,269. So that's the one earlier. Here comes a 390. 390,114 on a service to London Euston. It's the flat one being London Euston. Here comes a 350. 350 120 and 350 376 on a service to London Euston. It's off that one being London Euston. Here comes a 730, 730 228 and 730 224. So these one earlier as well. Going to London Euston from wherever they came from. Here comes a 730 on a London North Western Railway service to Milton Keynes. 738 845, and here is 885010 from Chester. And there's that one being London Euston. And next time for the two 730s is Watford Junction. Here comes a 390. 390,141. On a service to Manchester Piccadilly. It's a flat one being Milton Keynes Central. Here comes a Freightliner 66 to Southampton, I think. 26516. And here comes a 390 on the service to London Euston. From Preston, 398.40. From Preston, I think, to London Euston. Here comes a 807. And here comes a 710. $807,006, and here's 710,266. And here comes a 1972 stock. There you go, 710,266. On a service to London Euston. Next off this one being North Wembley, and the next off this one being Kenton, not South Kenton. Here comes a 730. South Pair of 730s on a service to Milton Keynes, I think. Here goes a 1972 stock, a 390 and a 66 and 710 lead as well. Next off this 1972 stock is North Wembley and a GBRF 66 781, I think. It's going to be passing through in a moment. Here it is. 66 781. Lovely two-tone. Lovely tone. There's a plane up there going to Heathrow. Looks like a 777 from here. Next train should be 39151. Comes a double pair of 350s from Milton Keynes Central, I think. 350 103 and 350 371. Next off that one being London Euston. Here comes a 807 on a service from Liverpool to London Euston. 807 808 on a service to London Euston from Liverpool Lime Street. And here I think is 390 151. Yep, 390 151. 390 151 on a service to Preston, I think. And here comes a 377 on a service to East Croydon from Watford Junction. 377 705. With that is, I'm going to end the video here at South Kenton. Yeah, that's been South Kenton. Peace.